Tell us, what's your name?
My name is Emmanuel Gambo.
How old are you?
I'm 22 years.
You're a student of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, right?
Yes, I got admission for the 2023-2024 academic session.
And what are you studying there?
Material and metallurgical engineering.
Material and metallurgical engineering. So, can you just tell us exactly what will happen? Like you've told us before now repeatedly. So what happened on that day? What date was that? What happened? Even the details you had given to the hotel, you made us understand it was a false detail. So just give us a lowdown of what happened.
On the 14th, Deborah and I met inside the school. We took a walk, and then she asked me to walk her back to where she would get a bike to go to her house. So when we got there, she asked me to walk with her to her house instead. So while we were walking, we were engaging in conversation.
The kinds of things that we hear these days is just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. This is stunning. I don't know if you guys followed that story. I think it was 2 weeks ago that we heard a story about a lady who was strangled in a hotel in Nsukka. I mean, the story was that some of her private parts had been removed or have been, taken away from the body, have been detached from the body. But the police came out and said that, look, there was nothing like that, that the body, the parts of the body were all intact. But it was quite stunning, the way and manner that it happened. This is more like a mutual thing. Two adults, students, decided to go to a hotel to have fun. They have initially agreed 5,000. The story is just crazy. They initially agreed 5,000, and then for a particular round, then all of a sudden, the story was that they had another round, and so the girl was asking for more money for the guy to pay for the other round that has been made, and so a quarrel ensued, and that was how somebody died. And we understand that the lady was supposed to have graduated last year, but for a carryover that she had, she was in school in order to rewrite that particular paper. And it's just so unfortunate what has just happened. So we'll play back his confessional statement. What he said was, the reason, because the police had to do some, interaction with him as to what exactly happened on the day. And then they also had the last part of the conversation that had to do with the explanation of what exactly happened. I mean, I really don't know. People must be extra careful. I don't know what kind of, struggle would get into to the point of strangling somebody just because of a back and forth. I think there should be something more to that story. There should be something more to that story, because again, somebody did not pay you and you didn't pay them, and then all of a sudden it dovetailed into chaotic scenes that had to kill somebody. And the crazy part is the ease at which he did it, using a cotton, using a towel to tie her and put her under the bed. No, this guy looks like something that he has done severally, or he has done before. Because I mean, it doesn't look like something that is a one-time thing, How do you get into that kind of quarrel, and then the first thing that comes to your mind is to strangle people and kill them? It's terrible. So listen to the confessional statement, and also listen to the police of the Ndukwe PPRO, who, by the way, is a friend and a very good policeman, in narrating what exactly happened. And we also love to hear your thoughts as well. All right. Thank you.
Tell us, what's your name?
My name is Emmanuel Gambo.
How old are you?
I'm 22 years.
You're a student of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, right?
Yes, I got admission for the 2023-2024 academic session.
And what are you studying there?
Material and metallurgical engineering.
Material and metallurgical engineering. So, can you just tell us exactly what will happen? Like you've told us before now repeatedly. So what happened on that day? What date was that? What happened? Even the details you had given to the hotel, you made us understand it was a false detail. So just give us a lowdown of what happened.
On the 14th, Deborah and I met inside the school. we took a walk, and then she asked me to walk her back to where she would get a bike to go to her house. So when we got there, she asked me to walk with her to her house instead. So while we were walking, we were engaging in conversation. So when we got to her street, we were about to bid ourselves good night. But she said she wanted the night to keep going on, and I agreed as well. So I asked if we could spend the night in the hotel again, and she agreed.
Be audible.
Yes, sir. So she went in to pack up a few things from her house. When she came out, we departed to the hotel. When we got there, went to the reception, and then we asked them for a room.
You were the one checking in. Basically, you were the one taking her to the hotel, isn't it?
Yes, sir. The second time, yes, sir. So they took us to the room upstairs to show us the room. The room was a mess, and we requested another room.
Okay.
And they gave us another room.
Gave you another room. At
Yes.
what amount?
Around 15,000. So the initial 12,000 I had on me, which was supposed to be for the prior room that we were shown, I had to collect 3,000 naira from her to balance for the room. So I went back downstairs and I paid for the room. She gave me the key, the receptionist.
Okay.
And then I proceeded back to the room, sir. She wanted to take a shower, but there were insects in the bathroom. And she asked me to get rid of the insects. And I did. After which she took a shower.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then what happened again?
Then we slept together, sir.
You had sex?
Yes, sir.
The first time?
Yes, sir.
Was that when you now paid her the sum of how much?
5,000. I gave her the money before we came, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So after that?
After that, we slept. Then, much later, she woke me that she wanted to use the restroom. I should check if the insects were still there.
Second time?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, I did. There were just a few. I got rid of them. And she went to use the restroom.
Okay.
When she came out, we were talking. And eventually, we slept together again.
Slept as in you had sex the second time?
Yes, sir. We had sex the second time.
Okay.
So, she went to clean up, after which I did.
Okay.
Then, when I came out, as I was drying myself, she said that I know I'm going to balance her. I agreed initially because I thought it was the money I collected to complete for the room.
Okay.
But she said no, she was referring to the sex that we just had.
The second time you had sex?
Yes, sir.
So you have to pay up. How much was she expecting you to pay?
She asked me to pay an extra 15,000 naira, sir.
Bringing the total sum to how much?
To 20,000.
20,000 naira.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what happened after that?
I told her that was not the agreement before we got here. But she kept insisting. And so we were arguing. We started arguing. She held me by my boxers and I hit her hand away. We were going back and forth, we were arguing, sir.
Okay.
Then I held her by the neck.
By the neck?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Up against the wall.
Okay. You held her by the neck up against the wall.
Yes, sir.
And then what happened again?
And then when she kicked my leg, I pushed her.
Okay.
And she fell and hit her head on the cupboard.
You fell down and hit her head on the cupboard in the hotel room?
Yes, sir. I noticed that she was not being responsive. I was calling out to her. I was tapping her. I was shaking her.
She was not talking any longer. Was she lifeless?
Yes, sir. I covered her with a towel.
And what again?
And the curtain.
You used a towel and a curtain to cover her?
Yes, sir.
But you hid her somewhere?
Yes, sir.
Where was that?
Under the bed, sir.
Under the bed in the hotel room?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That means you concealed. Somebody wouldn't have known that somebody was kept there, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what did you now do with her belongings?
I gathered her belongings and I threw them out of the window.
You threw them out of the window, but there was a phone you went home with, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then when you were going back, did you tell the receptionist anything?
No, sir.
The initial time you checked in there, what details did you give to the hotel receptionist? Were they your details?
No, sir.
What details were that?
They were random details, sir.
That means they are what? False, what?
Yes, sir. It was an alias.
Alien detail.
Yes, sir.
And eventually, how were you arrested?
The police came to my house.
And arrested you.
Yes, sir.
Emmanuel,
Sir,
with the whole incident, how do you feel?
I feel the regret.
We've had that, and that's just what it's all about. Once again, to remind us that this was never a case of ritual killing and the harvesting of organ of a female. It was purely a case of murder. Like we had earlier informed us, Commissioner of Police had directed that no stone whatsoever be left unturned in ensuring that justice is served in this case. Enugu State Command. You recall that on the 1st of July, the command issued a press statement refuting a claim that there is a case of ritual killing of a lady and harvesting of a vital part in a hotel in Nsukka. We refuted that claim, letting the public know that contrary to the claim making the rounds, it was actually purely a case of murder. The girl had been checked into the hotel with another young man, and after all said and done, the young man left that hotel the following morning, only for the hotel attendant to realize that there was this oozing odor, very malodorous odor coming out from the room. They visited the room, and lo and behold, were able to find the decomposing body of a young girl, like was alleged that a vital part were removed. That was not the case, and the incident had happened between the 14th and the 15th. The 14th was exactly the day the suspect, the male suspect, and the girl checked into the hotel, but along the line, eventually the young man murdered the girl. And like we have said in the press statement, the Commissioner of Police of Enugu State Police Command, CP Mamman Bitus Giwa, had ordered the State Criminal Investigation Department, the State CID, to ensure that they left no stone unturned to arrest the suspect involved in the crime. And as a matter of fact, the case that was earlier reported at the Nsukka Police Division was eventually transferred to the State CID. And based on the directive of the Commissioner of Police, dictating from the homicide section of the CID, went to work, galvanized intelligence, and leveraged on that and ensured that they were able to trail and eventually arrested the male suspect responsible for this particular heinous crime. He's here. At some point you will hear from him, but for ethical reasons you're not going to see his face. According to what he has made us understand, that the reason for the whole action was because he was made to pay the girl the sum of 5,000 after having the first round of sex, and then gave her the 5,000. They had a second round of sex the following morning, checked in on the 14th, the following morning being 15. They had a second round of sex, and the girl insisted he must pay up the sum of 20,000 by giving her another 15,000. And in the course of them pay no pay, eventually they ensued an argument and altercation. According to the suspect, they engaged in a little brawl, and in the course of doing that, he grabbed her by the throat and she got strangulated. But interestingly, it was not just about the fact that she died. He smartly ensured that he used tore part of the curtain in the hotel room. Make sure he used the curtain to wrap the body of this disease victim, who have also been identified as Deborah Sam-Praise Ememem, aged 22, who would have graduated as her last year from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, but for a carryover she went back to her receipt. While the suspect in this case is Emmanuel Gambo, aged 22, a native of Kogi State, himself is a second-year student of the same University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where he's studying metallurgical and material engineering. Eventually, they made out, and in the hotel, to conceal the whole thing, he tore the curtain of the hotel room, discreetly in a way you wouldn't know, and the towel made for the hotel room wrapped her, and then had the body of this deceased victim under the bed. So there was no way anybody could have easily known that something happened, if not for the malodor that was coming out of the fact that the body had started decomposing. And so, like we had said, it was never a case of ritual killing. It was never a case of harvesting of the vital organs of the victim, because all of her body parts are still intact. It was purely a case of murder, and the murder, from what we've seen from the confessional statement of the suspect, is purely that of strangulation. And in the course of the investigation, something also very important happened. He not only concealed the body of the lady, what he did was to her bag and every of that thing, through the bag, through the window, and to the neighboring compound to the hotel, and then quietly left the hotel, making it look like nothing happened. But in the course of the investigation, the detective have meticulously and diligently executed the investigation, and have been able to recover the belongings of the girl. Here is an iPhone, which is hers. The suspect had gone with this phone, but because of the diligent and intelligence-guided investigation, the phone has been recovered. We also have a Redmi earpod that was also recovered. Here is a Redmi tablet belonging to the young deceased victim. The victim had gone to meet him with this wine, an Asconi Agbo liquor red wine. She had informed her sibling, who are also students of the same university, whom they all stayed together, that she was going to sell this drink, and eventually took this drink where this young man took her to the hotel along Opupa Road in Nsukka, where they lodged on the 14th. At about 9 p.m. was when they checked into the hotel. But the actual act that led to the death of the girl, from investigation, reveals that it was the following morning, early morning, when they were having a second round of sexual intercourse, and of which was the reason why the girl, according to the suspect, demanded for extra 15,000, saying the 5,000 he had given to her was not enough, hence they've had sex a second time. Also in this bag are the clothing of the victim, not just the clothing, the towel, the part of the cotton that was torn that he used to wrap up the girl, are all contained in this bag.